Yeah, title check in Elliott Wilson, man. Me and this guy go back, man. We've done some crowns.
Way far back, man.
You know what I'm
We've
saying?
had some good conversations.
We did a crown, man. We did a Rap Radar podcast in the early days when we was learning how to do a podcast, and you was just becoming a superstar.
Yeah, man.
And he's back with a new one, man. Young Gerald, man. G-Eazy. What's up, G?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm happy to get this new music out, man.
Yeah.
I'm not used to life moving so slowly, you know. It's been a challenging year for a lot of people, man. So just excited to be moving.
I think you feel the excitement through this release, right? Tell us about Provide. I mean, the whole energy, to me, everything around it just kind of feels excitement around it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Mark Morrison flip, you know, Return of the Mack being such an iconic record. I mean, really one of those like transcendent, like timeless, you know, like songs that just, you know, that's a generational hit. Yeah. So anytime you're starting with ingredients like that, man. And then Chris is my guy. Like he was one of the first people, you know, first artist in the industry to kind of like, you know, give me a cosign and do a record with me. And, you know, he's just always shown love and always been solid. So.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that. Like you said it. I mean, you guys have made several collaborations.
Yeah,
he's been with you from day one. Like,
day one. How did that develop? I brought him out at a show in LA. He's somebody like that, right? Who, you know, like he's humble and shows a lot of artists love. You know, he's also just like a workaholic like me who just, you know, it's like just constantly in the studio, constantly doing records, and and he's always been that to me. Every time I see him at a show, you know, and anywhere, period.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what are those conversations like? Is it always about music or is it just vibing?
No, we've had some long ones, man. Definitely some heart to hearts about music, and just like I think, you know, it's this unusual life, you know what I mean? Like living as an artist, like, you know, the touring, the constant go, you know, like you know, people being in your business, the, you know, the highs and lows, everything that comes with it. And, you know, it's something that sometimes only certain people can understand. So, you know, those combos with people on the inside that, you know, we know what it's like being an artist is, you know, it's valuable.
Yeah, no, definitely. Going back to the sample, like you said, man, obviously that's a famous sample. So people can look at it two ways. They say, oh, that's a cheat code, right? Or then they say, you know, I may not want to mess with this record because this record is so like there's a challenge to it. Can you talk about that and how you approached it lyrically? How did you approach it lyrically?
Yeah, it's definitely that, man. There's some holy grails, you know, and then there's some that lend themselves to, you know, to being flipped in the right way. I think that's the key is doing it right and, you know, keeping the right ingredients, but then finding ways to kind of like update it in its way too. You know, and kind of recontextualize, because, you know, it's not enough just to, you know, to take something and just completely redo it. You know, you got to put this new kind of spin on it. But I mean, Hitmaker, you know, who produced it, we were out at a house deep in the cut, and we're just like flying some producers out for like a week out there, and he came for a few days to work with his team, and you know, it was like deep, far away and, you know, away from any kind of distractions or anything. And we just worked all day and night. And we did that one early in the morning, man. I'm making my coffee and I'm not a morning person, man. I can't even talk before like a cup or two. And
nocturnal animal,
I'm a nocturnal animal, man. I'm a bat. Batman doesn't come out in the morning, man. So, man, I heard that beat like through the next room over as I made my coffee, and I just came in like, oh, that's okay. That's where we going. Yeah, okay, that's what we doing. Well, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. And you know, it just came out natural. At the end of the day, man, I mean that tempo, that pocket for me, that's just such a natural like flow. You know, it's just like so. You know, it came naturally, it came quick, and I just you know sent it off to Chris like, bro, I think you would kill this, and he called me back like right after he cut it in the studio, and he was screaming like, Gerald, we got one, like I'm going crazy on the phone, and I'm like, I was like tired. It was night by then. I was like, bet, all right, send it through.
Yeah. I mean, how do you approach that? Because I mean, you've had, you know, No Limit, I think, is, you know, what, 5-6 times platinum. Me, myself, and I, like, you've had those, like, besides platinum albums, like, songs that are really, like, off the chart. Like, you know, I know there's no, I mean, you with a guy like Hitmaker, It's like he seemed like he's always trying to make a hit, right? Like, so do
It's
you
in his
go for it?
name.
Do you
It's
go
right
for
there
it?
in
Do you
his
go
name.
for it, or do you just
I mean,
does it have to be a naturalness to it?
Here's the thing about a hit, man. I mean, you can be like, let me sit down and write a hit, and you know that's not when it comes. You know, you can't force it. Um, you know, of course, you know, you would want a No Limit or like a Me Myself and I, like every album. You would want, you know, a super smash record or whatever, and you could put yourself in the right environments, work with the right people, you know, to kind of increase your batting average or whatever. But you know, it's like the second you try reaching, it's just it's not really gonna happen. So, you know, for me, it's a balance, right? There's people with bigger songs than me, but don't, you know, sell the tickets touring that I would do. Or there's people that, you know, like all over the radio, but don't, you know, haven't, you know what I mean, like the what the albums sell, or like the fans that listen to the track 15s and the track 16s, you know what I mean? Like the meat that's there. So it's like it's about balance, man. Of course, like I'm grateful for any time I land one of those records that's like, oh shit, this might be one of the ones.
Yeah.
You know, like to really grow. And when you ride that roller coaster, man, you ride that song, you know, into infinity. But you can't force that. You can't reach for that. You can't fake that. And you know, it's just it's a hard thing because, you know, I put my all into my albums. I'm 350 songs into working on this one, man. I'm like
You've always been
you know what
like,
I
but
mean?
you've always been like that, right? You
I'm
always
a
over deliver,
workaholic, bro.
right?
I'm a workaholic, you know, and I go in, but just figure, man, out of 350, you're gonna find, you know what I mean, some special stuff in there. It's just hard to whittle it down, but you know, I'm gonna give you the songs towards the end of the album that are, you know what I mean, like maybe more of a lyrical approach or more vulnerable and more like, you know, like sharing of like the, you know, the personal stuff, you know, but then you're gonna have those songs at the top of the album that's, you know, the
turn
up,
up,
the
turn up. Yeah, so this isn't a Lucy. This is gonna be off the long awaited sequel.
Come
The
on,
long
it's the
awaited
sequel to the first
sequel.
album.
These things happen too.
This is the full circle, you know what I mean, for me coming home, like, as you know, when we first met and started chopping it up, it was, you know, I was this, you know, bright-eyed kid with big ambitions and dreams of saying, you know, from the Bay to the universe, you know, like independent and just trying to get it and trying to get this ball rolling, you know, going from tour to tour, reinvesting every dollar I had back into it, you know, trying to get something to pop. And then said, you know, I'm gonna take this from the Bay all the way to the universe.
Yeah.
And this is like the kid went into space and then came back around, you know, and the spaceship is a little banged up and dirty, you know, there's a lot that happened on the journey, you know, but this is like, you know, this for me, the concept would be like coming home and kind of like, there's a lot of songs that I approached as a sequel to this one and a sequel to this one and a sequel to that one. So yeah.
How challenging is that to approach it from that standpoint? Like this is like the sequel.
Yeah.
Like how challenging was that for you as a writer?
You don't want to reheat the same soup, you know, but at the same time, people, I think for the most part, you know, they hang on to these memories and this nostalgia of take the first album and where they were and what that meant to them then. And, you know, it's almost unfair. Like they don't want you to change. They want to keep getting the same kind of stuff from you. But as a human, you evolve. You know, this is my maturation as a man and just my evolution as an artist. But at the same time, like not being swayed by this industry, this game, and letting it change you and letting it affect you too much. Because there's a difference between change and evolution and growth. You know what I mean? And I think that's maintaining, you know, the things that truly make you, you know, and that's for me is been humility and hunger and just balancing all that.
I think what's also great about you is that your versatility as an artist, right? Like even last year, like, you know, obviously we all went through it. We're still going through a tough time with this pandemic.
Yeah.
But you stay active, man. Like you put out a whole project, Everything's Strange here. Like,
and
it was a little different for you, right? Like more singing, less rapping.
Yeah.
Like, why was that important to share?
Extremely different, man. And you know, with that being said, it's like there's a time and place. There's a time for me to just like to explore new creative approaches, you know, and pick up new things, man. Like I was like, you know, I've been studying piano, learning to play guitar, like learning how to sing, and just trying to like just grow creatively, period, because it could always be an asset to you. And you know, I think true creatives have the freedom to, you know, explore and not be like confined within the boundaries of, you know, having to reheat the same soup or do the same thing over and over. But then there's another time and place where, you got to give them what they're expecting. You know, you gotta come righteous. You gotta come with that what they
the
need.
Bay Area champ, the Bay Area champ.
Come on, man. You gotta deliver. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna need. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need those records.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you going through last year and like that transition? And like you said, like you know, literally, I think I saw somewhere you said you learned how to play piano through FaceTime. Like.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like it's been the weirdest year for somebody who lived on the road for so long and was so used to just like kind of just overstimulating life, right? Of just like constant travel and constant, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing like from the show to the after party to wake up the next day to do the, you know, interviews all day and then the meet and greets and then the, you know, and then the show and then the after party and tomorrow we're in Paris and then the next day we're, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a lot of life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you think about most people, it's like they look forward to getting to travel. They count down the days, the weeks and months leading up to a big trip you plan.
Yeah.
You know, and as an artist, you kind of just like you're always on the go and always. So to take somebody who's just always on the go and then it's like there's nothing's going at all. It's like it's a stop. You know what I mean? So I mean, of course it was nice at first, man, just getting to catch my breath and kind of enjoy my home for the first time. You know, and get into a routine. But you know, it's you know, you go a little bit stir crazy, man. How are you, man? I mean, how are you getting by?
Same thing, man. Just, you know, like I miss hitting the road, running around, going to get the story. A lot of this, you know, you have to get used to it. Yeah. But trying to stay busy though, man. I feel like at least optimistically, you know, you wear your mask, you get out there, you know, and it seemed like things are slowly starting to open up again, you know, slowly starting to open up,
man. And I think it just taught us a lesson in terms of just like not taking things for granted. You don't know what you have until it's gone type of cliche. But also, you know, being grateful for, you know, the way I got to experience it, not taking that for granted at all. Because at the end of the day, you know, I have a roof over my head.
Absolutely.
I have a safe place to be. You know, I think about kids or people whose home is not a safe place to stay inside of.
Yes,
you know
what
I'm saying? It's like everybody's house isn't something that, you know what I'm saying, is okay for them to want to stay inside. Or, you know what I'm saying, certain industries got impacted so much harder than others. And I'm you know, grateful to have music. The restaurant business got hit hard. Think about the airline industry. Think about, you know what I mean? Like so many different industries. While certain things picked up, maybe, you know, certain things came to a screeching halt. And it's, you know, it's been hard for people to figure out how to kind of like, how do we adapt? How do we find a way to, you know, and I think now we're kind of settling into this, like, it's not going away. It's not going away no time soon.
It's a new reality,
And there's some ways it's just life is just a lot harder now.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta, but that's what it is, man. And that's, you know, humans gotta, you know, facing adversity and finding ways to rise to the challenge and adapt. Human nature.
Absolutely. One last cool thing in the quarantine, I was going through some of it. I didn't realize you started doing some covers of other musicians' songs. Like, I'm the type of person that, like, I grew up thinking I didn't like the Beatles. Like, that's like But then I really started to listen to the catalog, like beyond like the big hits, right?
Yeah.
And you did a cover of their song "I'm So Tired," which is like one of my favorites. Like, talk about that. And
that's always one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I was the same. I mean, I think as a kid, I probably I didn't like the Beatles because that's like what my mom listened to. You know what I'm saying? Like we listen to Mack Dre and Pac. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was my generation. It's like, you know, not the Beatles. But just, you know, another part of like maturity and just growing up and just discovering different, you know, different styles of music, different art forms, different, you know, finding inspiration in all types of things. And you know, I became a huge Beatles fan, but John Lennon was always my favorite. You know, John Lennon to me was the, you know, he was the one with kind of like the complexities and the pain and the you know, the more artistic like you know, kind of vision, not taking anything away from, you know, I think the rest of my geniuses, but John was like the, you know, there was some trouble in there.
The pain.
Pain. And I'm So Tired. I mean, that's a dark record, you know.
You killed it, man. You killed it, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Before we get out of here, man, anything you can share about the album, man? I know, like, you're a master collaborator. Like, should we look for those type of things, or like you said?
There's a record, like, you know, I've been sitting on this one for a while, but just it's like I'm hella excited for you to hear it. I want to know what you think, but it's the joint I have with Lil Wayne, and it's so significant to me because, you know, Carter 3 and the whole mixtape era that came prior to that, you know what I mean? The ascension of Wayne, you know, hits particularly hard to me, you know, as, you know, such a fan in those years of my life, like 2005, 2006, 2007, because that's when I was kind of like coming of age, you know, beginning to find my voice in hip hop.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was on top of everything. I mean, he was on top of his game. He was, you know, and I moved to New Orleans in 2007. So
oh yeah, I
being
forgot about
around,
that. Wow, yeah,
being around all that, you know, and then, you know, getting to then, you know what I mean, fast forward some years, be, you know, to work with Taz and, you know, to be managed by Taz. And, you know, I get my first big tour I got taken on was opening for Lil Wayne.
yeah.
And, you know, to bringing him out of Coachella and putting him on his first Coachella stage. He hadn't played Coachella yet.
Yeah.
And getting to be that guy that, you know what I'm saying, like to bring out Lil Wayne. And it's just one of those things, like when you know what I'm saying, when you get to spar with your hero or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a real hip hop record, you know, and it kind of feels like, you know, just one of those timeless ones.
Yeah, no, and it's probably full circle for you. I think the people that don't know, like your manager Jamil, you know, longtime manager, is a great guy. Also tour managers for Drake and Young Money for a long time, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, you having those connections, you know, what's interesting to me always about you is you had to earn it yourself, though, right? Like you had to build it from the mud yourself and earn your respect and have those connections. But it was about the work you put in, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I'm a workaholic and I've been doing this for about 17 years now. So like, you know what I mean? Literally. And but it's a balance of, you know, humility, hunger, but also confidence. It's like, nah, I belong here. Like I'm, you know what I mean? And that kind of like, I'll forever remain a fan because I don't see any like people who are like can't, you know what I mean, just like there's nothing that detracts from you to admire somebody else's greatness. You know what I'm saying?
No. And also, when I think about you too, I always think about the opportunities you provide others, like with No Limit. Like people forget that was one of Cardi B's first big breakthrough moments. You know,
that was her second like hit, basically. You know what I mean? Right after Bodak. So yeah, man, just like I'm just excited for this album.
All right, man. So maybe this summertime, maybe we get
finalize it. Early summer. Yeah, we're whittling down to 350 songs in the cool 15, 16, something like that. We'll see.
All right, G. Well, I appreciate you, brother. I need that, brother. You know, and we're gonna do this big when it's time, man. You know what I'm saying? In person.
Yeah, you already know. Hey, and thank you for real. As one of the ones like early on, you know what I'm saying, who's shown love, always staying solid, always stayed real. Like, thank you, bro, for real.
Appreciate that, G. Thank you so much, man. Young Gerald, man. Title check in.
Yeah.